Hello there everyone, welcome back. BogMod here. We're playing The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2, and we just beat the final boss in the very definitely final dungeon. Everyone had a good cry. I felt it in my heart. Breen, I've been rough to you. I picked on you a little. But I can still feel your pain. This is a beautiful friendship, and it's tragic to see it broken up.
Take care of yourself, okay?
I promise to write to you when I can.
Thanks. I wish all of you the best too. Although, to be honest, I get the feeling we'll meet again before long.
So do I.
Besides, the Empire is smaller to us than it is to most people.
So, it did a panning thing to this part of the group. So I guess I was supposed to be doing the text while they talked. Like, pressing the button. That's why it's kind of gone to Laura.
Yeah!
There
if
we
I
are.
use Lammy, I could be anywhere in no time.
This isn't goodbye as much as it is see you again soon.
In the meantime, we all have our share of duties to fulfill.
Yep. But as soon as they're done, well, you know.
Of course. Here's hoping our time apart treats every single one of us well.
So I kind of like, let's take a moment to look at all their outfits. Alright, well, we've seen Milliam's and Eustace. They're not changing their outfits. Fee's still in hers. Guy's Laura's outfit's new. Is that what... I don't think I remember Elise in that. Elliot, I don't think that... You lose the hat, buddy. I don't think it works on you. And Emma, that dress really shows off your chest. I know it covers it up, but it's still very much like, hey, look at these. You know what, I like that look, though, for Macias. That's a good student look for him. It makes him look a little older, too, I think.
And just look at those lino flowers bloom.
This is truly a season of new beginnings. I suppose I might miss this scenery.
Okay, what's up with you guys?
Instructor?
For all that you've done for us this past year, thank you very much.
Aww.
We wouldn't be here ready to start a new stage in our lives were it not for you.
Your teaching methods may have seemed unorthodox or even unreasonable at times, but it's hard to argue with the results.
We thought it was only right to take the time and thank you before we said goodbye.
So, we decided to surprise you.
Still, given the opportunity, I would be happy to learn more from you someday.
You kids are just...
Aww.
Oh, now look what you've done.
You may not be able to see it, but I may have gotten some dust in my eye myself.
I was planning on being all cool and mature until the very end. And I was doing so well, too.
Aw, Sarah. Someone give her a hug.
You lost sight of both cool and mature a long time ago.
Looks like our surprise was an A+ success.
I think we might have gone a little overboard, actually.
Maybe all this was a little too cruel, Emma.
It certainly seems that way. But I thought it would have been derelict of me as class president if we didn't do anything.
No, I think she, she may be crying, but I think she really does appreciate this.
Oh, so this was your idea, was it?
And it begins. What a wonderful way to bring everything to a close.
Oh, no, don't leave me, Laura. And the rest. I was heading away. Even Sharon's leaving. Reen left alone. Well, this is how you started the game, Reen. That's how you started the game. At least you're smiling this time. Oh, Legend of Trails of Cold Steel 2. Yay! Oh, I want to give a little applause for that. That was a wonderful game. I did really enjoy it. However much I may have picked on people, however much I may have made fun of things, at no point did I ever think to myself, you know, I should stop playing this. I'm not having fun. Definitely was never the case. I definitely enjoyed it. That said, I still think this was a game of mixed success. Talk real for a moment here. I've complained before, or talked about before, how, and I do think that it is kind of the big problem with this game, as it were. It got a little too ambitious with itself. It tried to tell a few too many stories and achieved a couple too many things, which worked against it in the end. Like, you know, the game constantly would reference how terrible things were in the West, right? But everything we saw in the East was... Oh. We'll talk about this after, when we get to the main credits, I suppose. Development numbers. Oh, I guess this is just still more credits. Oh, pictures. Oh, this is them. Oh, look, it's a granddad and mom in the background. Oh, how am I supposed to have a serious talk about the game when you're providing me these amazing pictures? But yeah, I think its Civil War effort was a little too ambitious. They wanted to play it up like a big, serious... Oh, of course, they're in Heimdall together, so of course no surprise they'd hang out. They wanted it to be very big and serious, and for you to feel like lives were in the balance, and and that it was a terrible thing, and it was wrecking and ruining lives, and massively disruptive, and it had so. Oh, all right, she's training with her dad. Awesome. And but yeah, no, it definitely the contrast between what was apparently going on constantly in the West, and to make you feel like, oh yeah, this Civil War is very important and it's dangerous and bad and we need to do everything we can to stop it, versus how things kind of played off in the East was a, aww. Oh right, his little brother. I think that's his little brother. Is it his little, yeah, it's his little brother. Is it? Can't. Oh, the birdie. Right. So that was the thing where they definitely had a kind of a clash there. I felt that they it was rather than showing it, was we were being just told it was bad, while everything we were being shown was like, it's not that bad. It's not that horrible. Ooh. Where are you all at? Oh, must be the Hidden Witch Village, is my suspicion. Same with... They were a little too obsessed with Crow, I felt. And I kind of mentioned this once. Of course, he's running things. Oh, the kids that love him, right? If they had made Reen and the others be like, Crow is part of Class 7. It's our responsibility to deal with him now that he's strayed from the path. taking a slightly more serious mindset. Like, even though, you know... Ooh, what are you three all up to? Interesting. I mean, even though they would still be obsessed with Crow and dealing with him, I felt that would have been a little more palatable to me. It would have been a little more serious, a little more mature about things. Same with the neutrality angle they went for when... Oh, yeah. Claire's trying to deal with the weird maid people. Yeah, so... If they'd gone for the... Trying to treat it a little more serious, like he's our responsibility as part of Class 7, we'll be the ones to stop him. Rather than like, we'll make him graduate with us. And ignore everything that happened. Oh, he's there with Patrick. I think that would have been a lot more palatable to me. In terms of the game. In terms of that little obsession. Oh, there's the 50 mirror piece. There's the full class. Oh, even with Toa, Angelica, and George. This would have been... So, this picture would have had to have been done, like, a couple days before he betrayed everyone? I guess? Oh, thank you for the game. Which I guess kind of ties into my final... Ooh, Erebonia's story is only just beginning. I guess, yeah, this will kind of lead into my final third thing that didn't quite sit right with me. Is that it does feel like we've had 2 games now. And the end result of both games is kind of a cliffhanger. I mean, we had... Reen's working for Osborne. He's taking part in military operations. The class is gone. What's happening next? For the second game. And we had, you know, Reen's being flown off despite, you know, not wanting to leave. Crow's betrayed them. Who knows what's going to be happening to the class at the end of the first game. Both games have kind of ended with our protagonist, Reen, being really completely outmaneuvered and manipulated without like a real good solid... Well, yeah, he contributed to stopping the war, no questions asked, but I don't know, it doesn't feel like he won, I guess you could say. And that's kind of the thing. It's been 2 games now to kind of establish his character, right? We started off in the first game. You know, he clearly had some issues regarding his identity, his family. We got to explore that in the first game about his feelings towards being an adopted part of the family, feeling like a burden. In a lot of ways, Reen is he's very self-sacrificing. And, you know, slowly, and over the first game, he got better and better about it, right? He got some self-confidence and all that. And we kind of got to work through a lot of the issues of all the people, of all the characters, through the various story elements and all that, which I loved. I loved that we got to have those moments throughout all the games. It was, oh, save. Of course, save. Boop. Boop. No, it was. This is a great shot still, though. And I deeply loved the setting, the class setting and the school, and that we got to have these moments that really explore the characters and their backstories, right? And you kind of got to see that progress, right? Like, Fee was closed off and kind of unemotional and didn't care about anything. And then, by the end of the game, right, she felt she had the class, it was her family, she kind of progressed, right? Emma, of course, started off as a witch. She felt she'd been lying and deceiving to everyone. And then throughout the game, we came to accept her. She accepted us, and she wasn't willing to just be. She had a responsibility, but her responsibility as a witch wasn't the only thing in her life, right? Million, of course, we got to see Waylon grow. She got to have the real feelings, right? Machias and Eustace overcoming their natural disdain for one another and the conflicts that we had with that. Elise's family and home issues, right? Elliot, of course, had problems with his dad. So got to kind of progress through them. Everyone's story kind of had its natural, here's your problems, the character got their growth. The problem with Reen is, as we've seen with the bit in Crossspell, he's clearly not happy about what he's having to do and who he's having to work for. But he's kind of just gonna suffer and endure, which is kind of where he was in the first game. Which is it's a mixed bag there, and that's, I guess, the problem with deciding we're going to do a 4 game story. Is that you can't have it? You have the risk of setting up the complications of them having those wins, or just progressively not having that chance for the protagonist. Because I do know that the main class is not going to be this group, I believe, if I recall correctly, won't be Class 7. This collection of PCs for the third game. It'll still have Reen, but not the others. So it's kind of like if you had to watch Star Wars, and in the first movie, they didn't blow up the Death Star, and the Rebels completely lost. But then in the second game, they do blow up the Death Star, but in doing so, they make the Emperor immortal, and they kill like an ally, and the Emperor's like, aha, it was all part of my scheme for you to destroy the Death Star finally. I've got a dozen more, by the way, and now I have an excuse to use them on just all the planets. And then you'd be going to the third game like, why are we still watching this? Can the heroes accomplish something? It's not that bad, but it's like, there's a problem there. You gotta be careful, and that you don't, well, like I said, feel that you've made your villain too strong and too unbeatable, which Osborn is kind of moving into that territory. He's with his complete and utter victory, especially over what is it? It's the risk of like when you have a villain and you want to make the next villain, right? Because Ouroboros was the original villain, and then you want to make the next villain seem like a big threat. Easy way to do it: have them completely overwhelm in some manner the prior villain, right? It's very basic stuff. The danger with that, of course, being that you're going to make the new villain be like, well, how can he be stopped? Can he be stopped? Would it be unrealistic if anyone could stop him? It's hard to say. I'm deeply looking forward, though, to the third game. I want to see how the game continues. I'm curious to know what will happen to poor Reen. He doesn't have the happiest of lives, and I feel for the guy. And I'm still very curious what's up with both his ogre power, how that relates to his father, and the clear other issues that the game has set up. That is, of course, one of the great things about this series, is how the games set up a world that you want to know more about. I want to know what's with these two, the two Septarians that are apparently in this region that Thomas mentioned. I want to know what the deal with Reen is. Right? I want to know, say what you will about, oh look, Osborn's actions, they've only helped the city, they've only helped the people of Erebonia. He've only, he used the Civil War to make it, to try and affect social changes, yada, yada, yada. I mean, however much you can do that, the game is very clear at the end of it. That Osborn, I mean, the music shifts it does, and all the angles it puts him at, the way he reveals things. Osborn is obviously a villain. He's obviously up to something nefarious that we will reveal in time. Like, you know, as like a meta understanding of us as the players and viewers of the game. We know that he's obviously the villain. He's obviously evil. He's got something he's up to that's going to be terrible. And I want to know what it is. I really do. I want to see how the story plays out. Which in that respect, the game was perfect. I definitely want to play more. I want to see more. There was just a few things that maybe kept it from being a really great game to me. Cold Steel 1. Good, of the 2 games that I played, I would give Cold Steel 1 the edge in this one. Just like, I guess, with Trails in the Sky, the third, for me, was too much of a departure from the way the other 2 games had been in the Trails in the Sky series to really appeal to me. Yeah. That said, thank you everybody who took the time to listen to my rambling about the game, who took the time to watch the playthrough, took the time to comment or just enjoy it with us. I deeply appreciate it. I know how long these games can be, and I know how I can get rather hyperbolic at times, but I do appreciate everyone who watches with us, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Don't take a lot of my comments and mocking as seriously. It's a little to get a reaction, but also, I mean, it's kind of my comedy style, I suppose. Embrace things and to point out the absurdity of some situations. It gets responses, it gets reactions, and it can be fun. Especially when you're just trying to respond on the fly. But no, kind of like the characters, I kind of don't want to end it. I don't want the game to be over. I want to play more. The third game's not out in English yet. I don't know when it will be. I mean, I think there's some fan translations. But it's not the same. I want an official translation that I can put money into to go to the companies that are making this great game. Also, I mean, like, you buy an official English translated game, it encourages the companies to make more games in English for us to enjoy. And I want to support that. I really do. But I suppose I can't put this off any longer. So I'll just say one final time, thank you all for watching. When more of the games come out, I will play them. That is my solemn promise to you. And I hope you will be there to watch them with me. And we'll have a great time with it. Everyone have a great night.